Here at Rockwell's aircraft production plant in the California desert, 100 B-1 supersonic bombers are being assembled at a rate that will rise to 1 a week. Rockwell are one of the 4 main contractors on the B-1 program. They're responsible for producing the airframe and for final assembly. And that's an operation which employs 26,000 people directly in this area, apart from the 3,000 subcontractors involved. With a production level of 100, the B-1 works out at $200 million an aircraft. But Rockwell are hoping for a follow-on contract to produce more aircraft at substantially reduced unit costs. The B-1 bomber, designed to penetrate deep into Soviet territory, has had a checkered history. The program began in the early 1970s as a replacement for the aging B-52. Production was halted by the Carter administration and then restarted by President Reagan. The B-1 typifies the kind of controversies which surround weapons procurement in the United States. These controversies have an important bearing on interpretations of the arms race. How far is it driven by domestic pressures, and how far by international competition? Graham Allison, Professor of Government at Harvard, is the author of an influential article which suggests that the arms race is more a product of internal than of international competition.
The temptation in talking about the arms race is to consider as if we've got a marathon or a mile going on in which there are 2 runners and one runs a little ahead of the other and then the other runs a little ahead, and we think of the U.S. weapons program as if it were a reaction to the Soviet weapons program or vice versa. The purpose of that article was to say, obviously it's much more complicated than that. If you take seriously the proposition that the 2 governments are not unified purposive actors, as we were just saying, but complex organizations, complex political arenas, different people with different views.
The Pentagon argues that penetration bombers are going to be increasingly important strategically as Soviet targets become more mobile. In their view, the B-1 fits the official guidelines for weapons development. These guidelines state that the process must begin with objective assessment of an external threat,